Welcome to the Business Boys Talkin-Business show with your hosts, Brian Magleby and Tyler Price.
Yeah.
Tyler Price, TP, and Brian Magleby, BM. We got a TP and BM group here.
We got it covered, don't we?
Thanks, Jeremy, for that nice introduction there. Yes, American Family Insurance. That's what we're going to be talking all about today.
No, that's great. You don't always love insurance until you need it.
That's
we'll
right.
Talk about it,
but
right?
This is a great company. And so, man, last week, Charity Hatterley, I had so many people texting me and responding that was she did a great job talking about.
She kind of just flies under the radar, but she's super sharp.
She is.
And if you need a set of eyes on your business and potentially becoming a coaching customer for her, I'd highly recommend
excellent feedback to people
too, because of
Chatterley.
That's funny. Yeah, Charity Hatterley.
Yep.
Yeah, she is a friend, and I mess up her name.
Yep,
so anyway.
But she is great. That was great having her on the show. And I had some people, I mean, I know that we have some watchers that, but they don't tell me that they watch, but I had a lot of people texting me saying that was one of the best shows that we've had. So, wow.
Well, we should put her here, and we can go do something else.
We should. We should. But then it wouldn't be the Business Boys either, would it?
Be Chatterley.
Chatterley. Thank you, Charity Hatterley, for being on the show last week. You did a great job.
When you get a dyslexic guy in I mean, her name's pretty unique. So
yes, it is. Charity Hatterley. So very good. Look her up, charityhatterley.com. I really enjoyed that show. Let's talk about the sponsors. If we didn't have sponsors, we couldn't do the show.
We wouldn't be here, right? We'd be doing something else.
That's right.
But BBSI's been with us from the very beginning. And Jeremy Hicks runs a great ship over there.
Yes, he does. He runs many areas. Yeah. Man, the guy is just all over. The guy is just amazing. And he hires the best people.
Yeah. No, they really walk the walk over there. If you need HR roles, if you need
business consulting,
business consulting,
everything they can do it.
Looking at exit strategies, I mean, they just got a lot of great, smart people over there.
They do, absolutely the best. Style House decor and staging, Christy Carlquist, absolutely phenomenal. We appreciate her setting up all of our set here each and every week. Yeah. We appreciate Christy. Does an amazing work.
The lady that doesn't sleep.
I tell you, she does. I swear, I tell her all the time, do you ever sleep? Yeah. Because she is literally going up from way before sunup to way past sundown. Yeah. So.
How about Amy Romrell there with Mrs. Powell's? Boy, she is. They make that stuff. You know? That's not like shipped in. They're making that stuff.
She is, and it is delicious.
They do good work there.
So SBDC, Idaho, SBDC.org. If your business needs any kind of help, we are there to help you. To whether you're starting up or ending out, we'll help you from cradle to grave. Is how we say it. So. Yeah. Very good. Man Cave Innovations helped out with our technology here. If your home needs any kind of home automations, look Rourke up there. Man Cave Innovations, I think, .net. Vulpine Marketing, every week. We don't have to worry about it. Yeah. Ryan keeps our website up to date. All of our speakers just absolutely does a great job at Vulpine Marketing. If your company needs help with SEO, website, anything, Ryan is the guy. Idaho Innovation Center. What can you say about them?
Boy, if you are starting in a business and just need some coaching and be in an incubator space with some synergy, this is the place to come. Not only are people successful while they're here, it's after the fact. They go out and the success rate
groom them to be successful out when they hit the streets.
Yeah, I mean your success rate is just phenomenal.
Unbelievable. So. And we've got some exciting things happening here. We got a new makerspace. I spoke to a group of about 50 people this morning, and I asked how many people in here know what a makerspace is. Not one person raised their hand, but we have one coming. If you've ever dreamt of making any kind of product, anything, this place is going to have it. Whether you need a welder, a CNC machine, lathe the printed on welders, screen printing machines, computers. This place is going to have everything. For the dreamer out there in you, this place is going to be what you're going to want to see. And let's end it on New Line Media.
New Line Media, that Tyson Bolcom kid knows what he's doing, right?
He does.
Yeah.
Absolutely great work. New Line Media, check him out on Facebook. He's got a great place there. And he does absolutely great video work. Almost all the videos that you see that are happening on this show, courtesy of New Line Media. So we appreciate Tyson being one of our sponsors as well. So we're excited today. Oh, let's talk about the classes that we
you got
have.
some classes coming up, and you have this kitchen, right?
Oh, wow. We got this commercial kitchen that's just...
You still have room in the salsa class?
We do. We got a few, but we've cut off registration, so that registration for it will not work. But you can call the phone number there and see if you can still get in. It's tonight, Friday the 14th, and we will. It's almost. It may be full, but you can call and see if you can get in. We've had an unbelievable response to this. If not, next week on next Friday is Dutch Oven.
Are you doing them every Friday? What's the...
We're going to do a couple a month. We're going to pick some random days. Now, I know in May we're talking about doing one on barbecue and grilling,
Yeah, we should have weather to
smoking.
Do that at some point, right?
We should hopefully have some good weather by then. So.
Yeah, well, that Dutch oven, I like Dutch oven. I do real basic stuff.
I love it.
So
Yeah,
I think
me
that's
too.
a class I'm going to try to make. So.
Yep, me too. So check out those classes. We also have a QuickBooks class and we'll be talking about starting in May, but we'll get some details out about it. So we're excited to have that QuickBooks class. So Brenden Kraft, I'll say this. There is no one better at networking in this town. I'm declaring it. Brenden Kraft is the best networking guy in this town. I swear I see him at darn near every single event that's in this community. So this guy knows how to set up and do a business and network your business.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, you're probably not going to have the success like he's had, I'll tell you that.
It takes a little effort. Yeah, let's talk about that mindset with him here in a second.
It is. We will. But we're going to show a quick video here that just introduces. We've got two videos. We're going to actually show this one's a quick one, just on the insurance coverage from American Family. And then at the end, we got a powerful video that we're going to show at the end about life insurance that will make you think whether you should or shouldn't have life insurance. And it'll be right at the end of the show today. So, but watch this quick commercial, and then we'll welcome Brenden Kraft from American Family Insurance.
This is the most important, amazingest game ever played in the universe. Oh no, looks like they're gonna miss it. But Danny swoops in for the save. Danny Roberts is up at bat. This pitcher is his nemesis. It is a very serious matchup. He's 0-3 against him. And the crowd goes wild! He just won the game! Let's go! Yes!
Your car does more than get you from here to there. It drives you to your dreams. And nothing deserves better protection than that. We protect the car you drive.
Go get him, Danny.
And the dreams that drive you. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Yeah, so insurance.
Insurance, yep.
But before we start talking about American Family, I mean, what was it? What is the mindset that goes into it? Because I think more business owners should get out and hustle the way that you hustle. So what is it? What's the mindset? Why do you do it? Do you enjoy it? All those types of questions.
So do I enjoy insurance? Is that what you're asking?
Networking.
Networking, okay.
Yeah.
So do I enjoy networking? No.
Yeah.
But it's a necessary evil, right?
I love the honesty.
So I am an introvert
Yeah.
at heart, right? So I'm going to backtrack a second to answer your question.
Yeah.
Okay, so in 2015, I started working. I did my first sales job. Right. Well,
Verizon.
Yeah. So
cell phone,
Verizon.
cell
Yeah,
phone
exactly.
guy. I'm a cell phone guy.
Yeah. So I started at Verizon, and what I did to get ready to start interacting with people is I would go to, they had self-checkouts. Mm-hmm. I would go to the actual cashier that's checking you out, and I would have these meaningless conversations with these people just to try to strike up a conversation, right? Because that's what you have to do. You have to have conversations with people before you can sell them anything. And so I did that, and then, I did really good at Verizon, and then I started doing insurance, and then just realized that the only way people are going to want to buy insurance from you is if they know you. Yeah. And the only way that they're going to know you is if you're out and you're just like you said, everywhere. Everyone has to see you everywhere at everything possible. And so no, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I have gotten better at it, and so it's more of a I'm better at it now than what I was, when I first started in insurance. But
So tell everybody what all you do in networking. I mean, you're involved with the chamber. Kind of talk about what else you do. So, I mean, I see it. I swear every chamber event.
yeah, so chamber is my favorite one. I've met tons of people that I enjoy hanging out with, and so the chamber one I do actually enjoy because I've been doing it now for 2.5 years, and I'm on the board now, so I'm a board member, and I love everything that the chamber does. So I'm part of the chamber. I'm a part of a group called B&G that you allowed them to use your space here. I'm a part of a group called WOW that meets twice a month, and then. Other than those three, those are the main groups that I'm a part of. But I try to go to any after hours thing that that any group's putting on. I go to tons of lunches. Lunches are by far the best thing you can do for your career if you're a professional trying to sell something. You have to get out and have one-on-one lunches with people. That's what I feel has been the.
I hope everyone watching is listening to this guy, because I swear that you are the best out there and being in front of people, and that's how you've set up your business.
Yep.
Why did you choose American Family?
So I was doing insurance with Aflac. Okay. So I did Aflac for 3 years or so, and this guy named Russ Call, I was introduced to him by one of my friends who was selling insurance with American Family, and I met with him on and off for almost 1.5 years. And I actually got to the point where I told him, I was like, this isn't for me. I don't think I should pursue this. And then my buddy who introduced me decided he didn't want to do it anymore. And he's like, hey, you should come and take over my agency. It's, ready for you, and I'm sure they'll give it to you. And so I started talking with Russ again, and then he, proposed the position to me, and I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. I didn't really choose American Family. I didn't interview other companies or anything like that. It was honestly just the opportunity that I was drawn to.
Wow.
Also, and I don't know if you guys know about Aflac, but Aflac is
supplemental.
Yeah. So, and it's a hard sell.
Mm-hmm.
I did pretty good at it. I mean, I was pretty good at it. I lasted 3 years.
Yeah,
right.
That's great.
But it's very, it's business to business, and it's just a harder sell. And homeowners insurance and auto insurance, life insurance is what I really, really focus on. Everybody needs that, and I can go to a networking group and talk to anybody, and they have they have auto insurance, and they probably either rent or need a homeowner's insurance, right? And so.
And they probably drive a car.
Exactly.
So they probably have a boat, may have a camper.
Exactly. So I just felt like there was more opportunity for me personally in my sales type, because I'm not a hard sales person, and
no one likes those. So.
No. So I just I like talking to people, getting to know people, and then them coming to me when they're ready. Yeah, is really kind of been my approach over the last 3 years.
So you kind of said you're an introvert, and we see each other down at the river. You're usually running, and I'm thinking about running as I'm walking. But it's usually just me and my dog. I've seen you there with your lady, wife or girlfriend, whatever it seems like. But how do you then, as an introvert, say, okay, I'm going to get into this career path? Because introverts, that's not what we do, right? And so I'm kind of similar in that I just one day decided, you know what, you better start opening your mouth or you're going to starve. So anyway, but what kind of drew you as an introvert into a career path that's not really something you'd say an introvert would really relish?
So honestly, it's Verizon is really what got me started. So I was going to school, and my goal was to be a physical therapist. I wanted to be a physical therapist. You see me running all the time. I'm pretty passionate about health and wellness, and that was just something that I thought would be a great career for me to go into. And then I started doing, the research, and I started making pretty good money at Verizon, and I started doing research on what you can make as a physical therapist out of school. It's not as much as you would want for 8 years plus of school. Yeah. And I was already making that same amount at Verizon, so I was like, man, I don't think this is for me. And then I stopped going to college and just focused on what I was doing at Verizon. And then I didn't have a great relationship with my superior, and so I left Verizon and started Aflac. And just everything that I learned at Verizon, just
Catapulted you into
transitioned
that
into insurance. And being your own boss is one of the hardest things you can do, right? Because you've got to be motivated to want to go out and talk to people, which for me is not easy because I'm an introvert, right?
But you just do so well. I can't imagine.
You just got to force yourself to do it.
do.
Yeah, that's honestly what it comes down to, is forcing yourself to do it. And honestly, the best thing about networking, and I promise this is how it goes all the time, is you say, all right, I'm going to go to, for instance, the chamber luncheon. I'm going to go to the chamber luncheon. And then you sit at a table with people you don't know. Those people will talk to you.
Yes.
You don't necessarily even have to put in the effort.
Yeah.
You know, I do now because I've just been doing it I do it now and I'm just used to it. But when I first started, I just would sit at a random table and people would talk to me, and then those people became friends, and then those people became clients, and that's just the name of the game.
Yeah.
You can either sit back and wait for people to come and to call you and to do that, or you can go out there and make things happen. I love in the questionnaire that we have him fill out to be on the show. He says networking is number one. Staying true to your word and being an active member of the community. Keep networking at the forefront of your marketing plan. And you can sit there, and I've seen many of businesses die because they sit back and wait for that phone to ring. As soon as that rings, they're on it. But you go out and make it happen.
Yeah. And there's tons of different ways to get business, right? I mean, you could, if there's phone books still, you can get a phone.
There is phone books.
There's a millennial there right there. You can dial off the phone book and get hung up on all day, or you can meet people where they're at, and most people are also uncomfortable in networking, right? Yeah. And so you go hang out with people in the community, and eventually, I feel like the way that I did it was slower. Like my progress to get to where I'm at didn't happen as fast because I wasn't cold calling, and so my early years in insurance wasn't as great if somebody that was just picking up the phone and dialing. That's just not me. It's not the way I want to sell. It's not the way that I want to get clients. Yeah. And so you just gotta do it. You gotta get out and network. And like I said, other people are uncomfortable doing it as well. So might as well get out and be uncomfortable with other people.
Together.
You only grow when you're uncomfortable.
Amen.
If you're comfortable all the time, you're never going to grow. You're never going to improve. And so that's what I like about it. It's because I'm still not comfortable with it. I'm used to it, right?
Yeah.
But it's still awkward for me sometimes. Some of these groups I'm a part of, they have us do these elevator pitches, right?
Yeah.
I
hate that.
I hate those. I hate those so much.
But you have to have it.
Yeah. You do. You have to be able to articulate what your business is and what you do in a specific amount of time, so that people know who you are and what it is you do and why you're there, right? Because we go to them ultimately because we want to have sales, right? And so, networking is my number one marketing.
You got to do it. And there's two other agencies here in town. You got Cody Hawker and Alan Sargent. Great guys, known them for many, many years. Absolutely great. But you've come in here. Tell us about where your office is.
So my office is on Holmes. So we share an office with a landscaping company, and we're right next to Vickers, across the street from the gun shop.
Yep, the gun shop. So if you know where that is, Vickers, out there on the north side of Holmes. They're on the west side of the road across the street from the gun shop. So very good. We'll kind of talk about what are some areas of the insurance that you specifically focus on?
So American Family, our agency is set up to where we can pretty much do any type of insurance that we want, because we have, we can sell AmFam specific products. So that's homeowners insurance, life insurance, auto insurance. We can insure RVs, boats, umbrella policies. We can pretty much do any of that stuff. And then we also have like a brokerage that we can send stuff to. I don't really like doing that because it's a harder process to service. So if you were my client and you had a policy with our brokerage and you needed to add a vehicle, it's going to take me multiple days to do that instead of just a click of a button. Yeah. So just from the customer service standpoint of it, I don't like using that kind of. I don't use our brokerage.
But it's
very
still
often.
available.
It is available, but our primary bread and butter type stuff is going to be home, auto, and then life insurance.
So why should people have life insurance? I mean, there's some people out there that just don't get it, and I just, man.
Great question. And life insurance is so interesting. Like I actually had this conversation with my staff earlier today. So we were talking about different ideas on how to post stuff on Facebook, right? And one of my staff members was like, I want to post something about life insurance. And I was like, I feel like life insurance is a mental block for people. And, people will talk about their homeowner's insurance and their auto insurance all day long because it's something they are required to have, right? Mm-hmm. But life insurance, you talk about someone's mortality, and then they just shut down.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I haven't figured out a way to have everybody be open about that stuff, be open about their mortality. But to answer your question, why someone should have life insurance, if you have anybody that relies on your income, relies on you for housing, relies on you for anything, you should have a life insurance policy.
Oh, you should.
Yeah,
And you never know when crap's gonna hit the fan. I mean, my wife, her first husband passed away. Had a $20,000 life insurance policy, 4 kids. How can that $20,000? How long is that $20,000 gonna last?
I mean, final expenses, and that's about it.
Barely at that. So yeah, you never know when things are gonna happen. And I'll tell you, it's one of the expenses that. And I'm surprised I'm still around because I got enough insurance that my kids and my wife, I think that they want me dead. They'd be better off. They'd be way better off financially. But I can tell you that I sleep better at night because I have that life insurance.
Same for me. Like I talk to a lot of young families that are buying houses, and as you know, the real estate world right now is expensive, and money is expensive to borrow. So some of these people are buying houses with these huge payments. And I'm just like, look, you got to have life insurance. You have a 2-income household. If one of those incomes is gone because they pass away, you're going to lose the house. And the last thing you want to do to children, in my opinion, is if they lose their dad or their mom and now mom or dad can't afford the house, you don't want to then pull them from their social group where that's going to be their only sense of normalcy in a situation like that because you can't afford to live there anymore, right? That's why I think life insurance is important for that specific thing right there is just keeping your kids and your surviving spouse, give them some sense of normalcy, and without any stress. Last thing you want to worry about if your spouse dies is how you're going to pay the bills. And on top of paying funeral expenses, and then
much to worry about. It just gives a lot of peace of mind. I'll tell you there.
So you mentioned kind of earlier that you weren't necessarily targeting American Family, but now you were looking at the opportunity, right? So then
Correct.
you get in. So now, what's your feeling on American Family as a company?
I like American Family a lot. I think I get kind of jealous of some of these companies on the amount of money they put into marketing.
Yeah.
I feel like American Family doesn't put, we don't have Aaron Rodgers, we don't have Patrick Mahomes as our spokespeople, right? But
Jake, you got Jake from State Farm. So.
We got the Property Brothers.
Yeah. That's
right. But other than that, I like what they offer. I feel like they offer a really good product.
Aggressively priced. I've had. It's a great insurance. I think that they are extremely, well. And the best thing is that I like to do when I buy insurance is that I like to have a relationship with my agent.
Yep.
And I feel like I can tell you that all 3 of the agents here for AmFam in this area are outstanding, as is yourself. And it's a great reputable company.
Yeah, I agree. I would say the 3 of us are some of the best in the business, in my opinion.
Amen.
Between Alan and Cody and myself, there's countless years of insurance experience, and I've only been doing insurance for 6 years, with AmFam for 3 years, and those guys have been in the business for a long time. So there's a lot of knowledge between the 3 of us, and how insurance works. And I think that's the most important thing you can do when you buy insurance, is buy insurance from somebody who's going to sit down and explain how it works to you, because just like you said, you don't want to pay for insurance until you need it.
Until you need it.
Right? And so, and the last thing you want to do is pay for it and then it not cover you for specific things when you need it, right?
And you want to know when you need it that your agent's gonna be there for you.
Exactly.
And that's the most important part. I got broken into one of my corporate offices and they got robbed blind, $40,000-$50,000 of damage, and and stuff that he stole. But I still remember my agent being right there the morning it happened. I called him, and within an hour, he was there assessing everything, getting adjusters going, and it was just amazing to have that. That's the kind of customer service you like if you know your agent.
Exactly. Exactly. And I feel like that's the most important part, is having some type of relationship with. Relationships are everything, right? Relationships are everything, and that's why I think networking is so important, because that's how you create relationships. And you gotta have relationships with people in the community, especially the community. You know, for insurance agents, that's what we do, is we protect the community, right? Not in a physical sense, right? But financially, if your house burns down, we're giving you a check to rebuild it. We're giving you a check to live somewhere else while your house is being rebuilt, right? So. Which is really the biggest reason why I like insurance, is because it's bigger than just getting a commission, right? You know, so
excellent job. So you talk about here that one of the things you recommend is to find a mentor who you aspire to be like. Talk about some of the mentors in your life.
So obviously my parents were great as far as getting me to adulthood and being responsible. They were very hard on me, which I feel like is the reason why I am for the most part, the person I am today. But I would say my biggest mentor is a guy named Chris Bertinoli. Great
guy.
Yeah, he was one of my superiors at Verizon. He's tried like hell to recruit me to be a real estate agent. Yeah. But he's taught me a lot. About religiously, business-wise, personally. He's an older guy, but he still gets after it in the gym, which I respect.
Yeah, he does.
He's a jack dude. But yeah, I've probably learned the most from him. And the crazy thing about this is, he's probably one of my biggest mentors. But I do insurance, right? He does real estate. Two totally different businesses, but everything that he does in his business that he tells me he does, I can implement it in what I do, and that's what I have found so awesome about my relationship with him. So,
well, I think that speaks back to why it's so important to get out and network, because it's not just about meeting people and getting potential clients. It's also about those relationships, because if you can form that, then people can give you the advice that you need to hear, that you don't always want to hear, but that you need to hear, right?
Exactly. Exactly. You never know when you're going to meet somebody at one of these networking groups that's either going to change your life financially because of the kind of client they become, or personally because of the kind of friend they become. You know, like that's I wish someone would have told me about networking, 10 years ago.
Oh, heck yeah.
Like who knows where I would be.
Listen up, everybody. Take the notes, because you'll regret it if you don't. He's even an introvert.
Yeah.
And he still, I say, is one of the best networkers here in the area. So.
Yep. I appreciate that.
Good job.
Appreciate that.
Good job. Is there anything else that you want people to know about American Family, Brenden Kraft? I mean, look at this guy. I look up to this guy so many ways. Look at those arms. If you can't see, his arms are bulging out of that shirt, man. I won't make you pose here. But
he like comes in and sits down. He's like, "Hey, I need the information on the triathlon."
And then he's running a marathon.
Well, you put together these races.
I
want to be a part of.
I want to support them too. It's just then I see all the stuff they have to do, and it's like, so you need someone with a flag, is what I'm.
Exactly. You'll be one of my people doing that. So very good. Is there anything else you want people to know about American Family?
I think the only thing I really want to say is that no matter what insurance company you use, just make sure you trust your agent, make sure they're willing to answer your phone calls, and make sure that they're not just trying to sell you the cheapest thing possible. That's probably what I'm known for. Is we're not the cheapest company, but we do offer. I include specific things on every quote, every policy that I sell, because I want to protect people. I want to make sure that there's no gaps in their coverages. And I feel like American Family is the best company for me personally that helps me offer that to the community. So
very good. Well, encourage you, if you have any questions, and if you don't have that personalized kind of service, go check out. You got to check out American Family and Brenden Kraft on Holmes Avenue, out by the gun shop, and absolutely has a great business there. So talk about this quote that you have.
Yeah, so this is a quote from David Goggins. Do you guys know who David Goggins is?
Yeah.
Okay, so the quote says, "We can't control all the variables in our lives. It's about what we do with opportunities, whether they're revoked or presented." So that quote so David Goggins is a beast of a man, right? I've read both of his books. I've learned a lot from what he talks about in his books. His stuff isn't for everybody. I think a lot of people think he's hardcore. And he is, and he's kind of dumb. He doesn't train for any of these things he does, and just goes for it. But
and he doesn't care too much about his knees either.
No. If you read his most recent book, he has like X-rays of his shin. They basically had to cut into his shin and move it up because of all the running he's done, right? But so that quote is powerful to me because you really can't control everything that happens in the world, right? Like what's going on right now. The economy is maybe bad, maybe good, who knows, right?
Don't listen to the news.
You can't control what's going on there, but you can control the things that we talked about today, right? You can control getting out in the community, being active, talking to people, meeting people. You can control what you can control, and just don't worry about the things that you can't. That's what I feel that quote means, and that's kind of what I've used over the last. I started with American Family like the day after the governor said, "Hey, we're locking things down." Right?
And you were still out there everywhere possible.
So this is what I mean by control what you can control. My very first networking meeting was the B&G, and I did it via Zoom. Okay, my first one, none of these people knew me. The only person that knew me was Jimmy. Jimmy knew me, but no one else knew me in that group. And I'm doing my 90-second elevator pitch to a Zoom meeting, right? But I know all those guys now, and I have great relationships with all those guys. And
he is a networking
all
guru.
started with Zoom.
So and man, if you want to aspire to be anything in networking, you've got to follow the examples. He's everywhere. You just got to be involved. Don't sit back there and wait for that phone to ring, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you, Brenden Kraft, for being here. We're going to give away some soda. Is that right?
Yeah.
Pick me up.
Pick me up.
Pick me
We
up.
got pick me up, and then we're going to throw in. You know what else? We're going to throw in some Mrs. Powell's. So we got those too. You ready for a question, or do you want me to?
Well, do you have one?
I do. I have one.
You go
ready.
right ahead.
All right. So in the middle of the show, we talked about that American Family. We talked about some of the people who represent other companies. You got Jake with State Farm, and then he said something about a show that's on TV.
Oh.
And if you can text me, go ahead and put the number up there. If you can text that number and tell me who their representatives. If you Google what show on TV, some brothers. Well, I'll just say a little. I'll give you half of it.
Wow.
Some brothers.
There you go.
Then you can win the Pick Me Up and then some Mrs. Powell's. So a great little gift. Thank you for American Family and Brenden for doing that. So very good. Give me some text and we'll get you some good food and
soda and sugar.
There you go.
Wash it down with a soda.
That's right. We're gonna show this quick thing. We talked about life insurance. Here's a little video that is a very powerful video.
Very powerful.
And talks about life insurance and why you should have it. And gives a good example. And then we've got Talkin-BS, total BS.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be talking about Teton Delivery, a great company here in eastern Idaho. And Jared and myself will be talking about Teton Delivery here at the end of the show. And so be sure to tune in after this 3-minute video on life insurance, and then there'll be talking total BS.
Total BS.
And people don't understand. It's business spotlight. It's not the BS being you talk about, guys.
Yeah.
So thanks for tuning in to Talking Business today, and we'll look forward to seeing you in coming weeks. Watch this video. Give us a thumbs up. You can give us the flex of the arm. Just show people what your arms are all. There you go. Oh,
There
man.
you go.
Jeez. Now I'm jealous. So thanks, everybody.
Jamie and I met in college. We dated for about 2.5 years and then married in March of 2003. I have 2 little boys, Parker and Brady, and one of our dreams for the family was my grandmother owns property around here, so He always wanted to buy like 10 acres of it so that he could ride the four-wheeler and maybe buy a horse, and those were pretty much the dreams. But it's staying around here in Columbia, having 2 kids, and just, you know, having a good life. Jamie, working for American Family, he had developed relationships with all of the agents around town, and I think it was just that we already had a connection with Alan. And Alan Beam was my grandmother's agent. I just remember one day Jamie coming home and saying, "Hey, Alan's coming over, we're gonna talk about life insurance." I'm like, okay. It was homecoming day for me at the high school that I taught at, my absolute favorite day. During the parade, him and the boys were at home. They were outside in the back playing soccer like they always do. And during that time they were playing, Jamie just collapsed. He just collapsed, and they went and got the neighbor, and they came over and started doing, you know, CPR on him. And then I got the call that he had collapsed, and his brother came to the high school and picked me up. My dad stayed with the boys here, and my mom went in the ambulance. And then I showed up at the hospital, and he just didn't make it. That night when I came home, I didn't know, like, how do you tell them? And I was just very honest. You know, they knew that Dad wasn't good, and we just told them that he didn't make it and that he's in heaven. By having life insurance, I have been able to give myself a break and to still work, because that's what I want to do, but also, you know, be able to still allow my kids to do the things they want to do and not be stressing about it. And if we didn't have life insurance, I mean, it wouldn't have been able to happen. I'm a teacher. I care about my students. I care about my friends. And to be perfectly honest, the $50 a month that we paid for Jamie's policy was the best investment that we ever made, because I have other friends that are widows that they didn't, and I see the struggles that they're going through. They say money doesn't make you happy, and it doesn't. It's not going to bring Jamie back, but we can still make new memories with the policy and the money that we've gotten from it. The key is not that you have it, it's how much. Find out, what are your expenses? Do you want to have kids? What do you want to be able to pay for those kids? Can you afford life after you've experienced death? And that's the question you have to answer. I wouldn't have been able to. I'm so grateful that for whatever reason Jamie decided to purchase it and that Alan came over. I mean, I'm grateful all the way around. Because if I can just help one person, that's, you know, Jamie's legacy lives on.
Well, welcome to Total BS. Are you ready to talk some BS?
I am. It's been a while since we've talked BS, like a whole week.
It has. Yeah, it has been. So anyway, Jared Oviatt and Brian Magleby here talking some Total BS. I just got to say, first of all, thank you to BBSI for sponsoring this segment. And it's exciting to talk about some of these BS. BS Business Spotlight. Yeah, you can make up what you want to, but we're talking Business Spotlight.
We are. You know, it's amazing the business community we have in this area. There is a huge entrepreneurial commitment in the marketplace. Yep. There is so many different specialty services, from professional services to ag business to
Yep.
technology. I think we're very fortunate in this marketplace. We have one of the most robust, diverse economies in the nation, and we're on the radar.
Yep.
But so far we're kind of flying under the radar in terms of
we like
craziness.
it that way. But look at this. We got green grass. Oh, wait a minute. It's not quite green grass out there, but we are at the BBSI, in front of the BBSI headquarters there, it looks like. So Idle Falls headquarters. And we got a great business to talk about today. Spectrum, residential habilitation. So we got their logo on the screen. Well, tell us about Spectrum.
Absolutely. So, you know, there is a host of businesses that for the most part, we don't even know exist, but they perform an amazing service in our community.
This is one of them.
This is. So let me tell you about what residential habilitation is. When we have an adult population that has developmental disabilities, think Down syndrome, think some other developmental disabilities that really prevent people from living an independent, fulfilled life, how do we deal with that? It's an enormous burden potentially on the family member whose parents potentially could age out or not in a position financially or physically to take care of these people. Also, how do we help these individuals progress along the spectrum of independence as much as they possibly can? And as much as we love them as family members, we're just not equipped to help them progress, to realize the potential that they can. So residential habilitation is an industry that focuses on group home settings of adults with developmental disabilities.
Yes.
And
as a parent of a disabled child, this it's really home. So this is awesome.
It is. So what they do is they provide 24-hour specialty care in an independent group home setting where they put similar abled or similar ability individuals in a group home with only 3 to 4 residents in that home. And they have independent one-on-one care, group care, activities, plugging into day programs, all with the goal of helping them live as fulfilled and independent as possible. And the reason we wanted to really spotlight Spectrum Habilitation is these folks have been around for about 5 years or so. But what sets them apart? And you've heard me talk a lot about culture and values and doing right by their people. What sets them apart is their people come first so that the participants in the program truly get their full attention.
Wow.
And it doesn't become a numbers game. It doesn't become a financial play. It really comes about how do we deliver the absolute best care. They make every single decision as it relates to staffing, who they take in, the partners that they look at.
There's a lot encompassed in there.
A lot of that, all based on their non-negotiable core values. And they live and die by those. And as a result, they have some of the lowest turnover in the industry in terms of the staffing. So you think about that. If we have somebody with special needs in a residential care facility, the more meaningful relationships we can establish with caregivers, the better the outcome.
Yeah.
So they really connect the dots well. I can't say enough about how well these people perform in a very challenging space and the impact they have on our community.
And they have locations, 2 locations, is that right? They started in Pocatello and now they're up here in
they
Idaho
are.
Falls.
And they operate about 10 to a dozen homes throughout the region, and they're growing. But they're growing within their footprint of their core values. So they're not going to grow for growth's sake. They're going to grow to deliver the care. And so a shout out to Jonathan Kuchera. He is the founder and owner and executive director of Spectrum Habilitation.
Wow.
And they do an amazing job. We're so grateful to have them in the market. Great
company, and we appreciate having the opportunity to spotlight them courtesy of BBSI. So thanks for watching Talkin' Business today. Get on and check out Spectrum Residential Habilitation. That's a mouthful there.
It is.
Look up Spectrum and you'll probably find them. So thanks for tuning in to Talkin' Business today. Make it a great weekend.
Welcome to the Idaho Commercial Kitchen at the Idaho Innovation Center. Our goal at the Idaho Commercial Kitchen is to provide a place to grow the culinary experiences of food entrepreneurs right here in Eastern Idaho. The Idaho Commercial Kitchen is proud to offer an affordable, certified commercial kitchen space where food entrepreneurs can safely craft culinary products as well as receive business support to properly market their food and services. Come join us in our kitchen at the Idaho Innovation Center.